So you see, as a kid, as a child, the images from the TV screen was big for me. It was profound, and one of my earliest memories, was the '94 World Cup. But around that time, it's weird. Even if '94 came before '95, it really seems to me that my first footballing memories was a conjunction of that '94 World Cup and that 1995 Champions League. And there was just something about the Champions League because it was just more so than just it's a football match and it's football that I play, and football is, of course, the sport that everyone loves in Nigeria and so forth. There was a particular kind of romantic nature about it. And there was just something about looking at Ajax, that Ajax team, the young players that they had going up against a team who were a lot more fancied than them. They were the underdogs. Let's just keep it real. They were underdogs. I mean, they were not going to beat Milan. Milan were, of course, favorites. So, but it was the fact that they won. David defeated Goliath, and the atmosphere that was created by the champions. I say, there is something special about this tournament. It is more than just football, and I think that is why football is so special, because why people like us, we fall in love with it, because people say, wait a minute, it's just 10 guys kicking a ball around trying to get inside a fishnet. On the face value it is, and there are times when I pause and say, it's just guys trying to get the ball inside a fishnet. But once you understand it, and that's the thing, once you truly understand it and understand the complexity of the sport, and you understand the otherworldly nature that it brings and how it takes your soul and your mind into another place, that is when you understand that this is one of the greatest things that we've ever created as far as a human race. And I just think within the Champions League, it just seems as if this is where you go to almost like a different planet, a different world. Like the domestic league seems real. The Champions League seems hyper real. When you see the logo, you hear the theme. And I think the theme is the key thing, because there is no real theme for like a World Cup or like your domestic league. But the Champions League has a theme. And the very fact that it has a theme, me being like a movie merchant and so forth, is like, okay, there's a filmic nature to it. Because I always say that, whenever I'm looking at films, a big part of a film is the theme song. What is Superman without his theme? What is Batman without his theme? What is Spider-Man without his theme? Captain America. That's, bro, the Captain America theme from the movie, that's my phone ringtone. So a theme song is key. And I think that Champions League theme helps give the competition that definition, and makes it stand apart from almost every other competition and so forth. We all love the World Cup and everything. I still think the World Cup is the great competition, but the Champions League is just special. So once you hear that, you see the players lining up and you just say, "The champions," it's like you're like, wow, we're now transported into something special. And that's the key thing. It's special. It's special. Winning a domestic league is still a major thing, and I think that is important. You should win your league, because that is a major part of football. But it's not special. It's just where it is commendable, and it is a great feat to go through a long campaign and win a league. That trophy, that competition, the teams you have to meet, the eyeballs that are on you, the platform that you're on makes it different. So, and I remember even my very first videos, apart from the Ronaldinho video where that loser Dunga didn't pick my boy Dino for the 2010 World Cup, my very first videos was from the Champions League in 2010. Those were my very first vids, and because I was like, I love this competition. I've watched it since 1995, when Ajax won it. And I was like, let there be a voice, because I said again, I'm a football fan. I love the sport. There are things I may not like about the certain fans, the institutions, the racism and everything, but the very core, the heart and soul of the sport, I love it in my veins. It's in my veins. It will always be in my veins. And I just thought that let me just put a voice out there as someone who has this passion for the sport, and let's see how many people in the world share the same incredible passion, emotional passion for this competition the way that I do. So it's and I just think that when you just and I think the very fact that it's the elite teams, it's the very best. So once you win it, you're like, what, I beat the best, because it's only the best comments. So shout out to your boy Scunthorpe, shout out to your boy Elche, Aba and Braunschweig, shout out to all you boys out there, shout out to Pescara, shout out to your boys Pescara, shout out to everyone FC, shout out to Croissant United. They're not allowed in this competition. They are nowhere to be seen. You don't get 8-2 score lines in the Champions League. So you have to be ready, because this is big, and I think this is a moment to be savored. This is a moment where you should cherish it. And I just feel that, we've had so many finals, and I think, I have watched pretty much every single since 1995. I've pretty much, I've maybe missed about two or three finals. But I've almost watched every single final live. Almost every single final I've watched live, because it's a big event, and I just think that there will be a winner. And when we say the winner win everything, but I think let's just take a moment just to look at the two teams that make it through. So we don't want to hear anything about, it was an easy run, blah, 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 blah. You can only beat who's in front of you. So the two teams who make it to that final, you have to commend them, because they had to go through elites. They had to, at some point, beat top teams. Or maybe it was not top teams, but they had to beat top teams for that given year. So to come out on top, on the mountaintop, there's something that should be said about you. So to all those Champions League winners, from the Ajaxes to the AC Milans, to the flipping Man Uniteds, to the Real Madrids, to the Barcelonas, to the Bayern Munichs, applaud them, commend them, because they are elite. And you winning the Champions League puts you in a special category. It puts you in a special category. And I just don't know what can be said about what Zidane did, because what Zidane did does not make any sense. Because based on just how difficult this competition is, what that man did does not make any sense. So, as we dig in deep to this PSG Bayern phase 2 to a phase, and as we break this down, through the varying aspects and so forth, all I can say is, obviously, I hope you enjoy this film, this short film that I've put together and so forth. I've tried to make it as cinematic, as filmic, as interesting, as entertaining, humorous, and informative, and as emotional as possible, But I just think that, what I'd want you to leave you with is think long and hard about what this competition is. Think long and hard about why it's special, and understand that winning this, it is the greatest feat for a club player. It is the greatest feat for a club player. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. This is the trophy. If you're a club player and so forth, I will say thanks for those league trophies. Thanks for the Ligue 1s, the Premier Leagues, and the Bundesliga. Thank you so much. How many CLs? How many CLs do you have? How many CLs have you won? What have you done in a CL semi? What have you done in a CL final? How did you lead your team? Did you come critical? Do you have a Sergio Ramos moment? Do you have a Drogba moment? What have you done? How have you left your legacy on this station, on this competition? That's what I want to know, because this guys, this is it. There are no excuses. #Og reality. And for PSG and Bayern Munich, this isn't a dress rehearsal. This isn't a chance for you to, there are no do-overs here. This is the first take, and this is the final take. There are no second chances. These don't exist. Once the referee puts the whistle to his mouth and he blows, you have to put every single ounce of energy into it. It's the final we wanted. It is the final we wanted, and I didn't think we were going to have it. So I was already preparing to say, okay, what is it going to be? A Leipzig? Is it going to be a Lyon? Is it going to be a Man City? But the football gods have given us what we all wanted. It has given us what I wanted, and I'm extremely hyped up. I'm extremely excited, and which is why, because, and maybe, see, I was going to do a regular sort of pre-match analysis, 10 minutes and so forth, but I say, you know what? Based on the football gods answering our call, as football fans, of what we wanted to say, you know what? It would be wrong for me just to give you something cheap. So because it is PSG Bayern, and because it is such a high-octane final with so many narratives, so much subtext, so many different storylines, so many different cogs, so many different players, so many different characters, so many different pieces, it was only right for your boy HH, the blue picking, to take stock of what's about to go down. Because whoever wins this, it's going to be huge. Whoever loses this, it's going to be huge. There is going to be a huge, massive reaction one way or the other. Because as we will dig in deep into this dissection, into this cinematic motion picture that is the PSG Bayern pre-match analysis, we're going to, by the time you get to the end of this movie, you're going to realize that, I thought I knew, but I didn't. Because you think you know. And I'm sure most of you go, of course, it's massive, but what I try to do with this is, for those that don't know, you know. For those that know, I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you something because I believe this is a final that we've been waiting for ever since the Champions League began. I believe that this is a final that we have never ever had before in the history. I believe that based on the surrounding storylines, this is perhaps the biggest final, the biggest Champions League final of all time. So people would say, HH, relax. You're hyping it, overhype. It's too much. Relax, they've been bigger, but it is what it is. I speak truth. I speak clearly. I speak succinctly. I speak succinctly. I speak succinctly. It's big. It's huge. This is what we need. It's been a difficult year. It's been a tough year. You know, this COVID has changed things. It has changed the way that we work. It has changed the way that we react to people. It has changed so much of our everyday life. You know, so, and I do feel, I believe in connection. I believe in patterns. And I believe that because of this particularly strange year, this COVID year, we have to have this final. We have to have this final based on what has just happened in the world. And I feel that what has been happening in the world is fully connected to us having this final between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. So guys, without further ado, I present to you PSG versus Bayern Munich, the pre-match analysis. Long time. Long time. 2013, I'm not one of the best mathematicians out there now, am I? 2013, guys, that's 7 years. 7 years since Bayern Munich have been in a Champions League final. Forget about even before they've won the trophy. The last time they've even been in a final is 2013, I think that when Bayern Munich won that treble, people thought that with Pep coming in, they would dominate. Pep had just come off doing crazy things with Barcelona, and your Pankes pretty much gave Guardiola an iconic team, an absolutely amazing team. You had a peak level Lewandowski, who was now emerging himself as a top striker with his exploits for Dortmund. You were looking at other guys like you had Robin, you had Ribery, you had Douglas Costa. I mean, the team was stupid. Bart Simpson, peak Neuer. So we felt that they would dominate, but it's one of those things that you look at those 3 years of Pep Guardiola and you wonder how the heck did Bayern not say what's up? How did they not say what's up? I mean, the team was too good not to, at the very least, make a final. Let's just get to a final, then we'll see. But so you look at those games against Barcelona and Real Madrid. People say, well, they lost to the eventual winners in Real Madrid and lost to the eventual winners in Barcelona. And that Barcelona side, MSN, that Real Madrid side, as we saw, were formed at the core, who won 3 trophies in a row. But still, despite that, I just feel that team was too good to go out like to Real Madrid and Barcelona like that. But with Atletico Madrid, there was no excuse. There was no excuse for that 2016 loss because I thought Atletico Madrid, the only time we'd see them in a final would be 2014. I didn't expect them to, 2014. I didn't expect to see them coming through in 2016. So that was because that was made to be a Bayern Munich Real Madrid final in 2016 because it felt as if, okay, this team had now reached its crescendo. 2014, it is what it was Real Madrid. 2015, it was MSN. 2016, boom. This is it. This is our team, and so forth. And they tried. I remember even watching that game, and Barcelona, Bayern Munich, they tried, they persevered. It didn't happen. So, and for me, I think, but for me, the closest I felt they came was when your Pankes came back, and they had that semi. I think it was the 2018 semi with Real Madrid, and the opportunities were there. The opportunities were there, but they did not put them away. Lewandowski, the opportunities were there. So I think it has, for me, been shocking that Bayern Munich, a team of this stature, it took them so long before getting to the final. Because if you look at in 2012, just look at it. 2010, they made the final. Of course, losing to Inter Milan. 2012, they made the final, losing to Chelsea. The very next year, 2013, they made the final. Boom. So, just in the space of 3-4 years, they were finalists. But it has been too long. It has been far too long since Bayern have been here. And they've taken a lot of hits. Because people have said, you're Bundesliga merchants. We cannot respect your dominance in the Bundesliga because you've not shown the same dominance or the same quality in the Champions League. So as Bayern Munich were smashing records, breaking records, and Lewandowski was breaking records, the footballing world was like, we don't give a damn. We don't care. Because you doing that just shows just how poor the Bundesliga is. Because if you can do that in the Bundesliga, they can't say anything here, you're trash. Similar to Juventus. Do all you want in Syria. Your lack of prominence in the CL means that those Serie wins mean nothing to the footballing world. It means a lot in Italy or Germany, but the footballing world, it doesn't mean squat. So it's been a long, painful journey for Bayern Munich, where they've had to suck it up and be like, we know we're good. And I think you look at that 2016 team, and they will know that we should have been in that final. And they make that final against Real Madrid. I think we have a great game. I think, almost if you have like a what if scenario, what if they made that final? 2016. I still think Zidane wins because he was touched by the footballing gods. But that would have been I think that would have been far more interesting final than Atletico Madrid, who we always knew we was going to lose to Real. But they're back. They're back, and I think for Bayern Munich, this is a sense of redemption, and I think this is a sense of this is where we belong. And I think in Hansi Flick, in getting Leroy Sané and so forth, This isn't a case of like, okay, we're here now, we're going to be back again for 5 years. I think what they want to do is, it's 2020. It's 2020, a new decade. We are back here to say what's up. We are back to live. And 2021, 22, 23, 24, expect us to be back here again in this final, because we are building a team to dominate for the forthcoming decade, spearheaded by your boy Gnabry and your boy Leroy Sané. Where do we begin with PSG? Where do we begin? Let's go all the way back. Let's go to the very, very beginning. Let's go to the very, very beginning. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, or United. Why should those only be the teams? Why? This is club football. It's the coward place. Anybody can get it. Why should these only be the powerhouses in European football? There should be a new player. No. You keep your history and everything with Bayern and Juve and everything. We want to bring in a new player and recreate some history. Hence, PSG was formed. Why was it formed? It was formed to add a new face to the European elite. So, El Khelafi and the boys said, you know what, let's bring in Ibrahimovic. Ibrahimovic is the guy to come in here and say what's up and really dig in there, because look at his successes for Juve, so forth. So the thinking was this. He didn't have the right team around him. If we build a multi-million-dollar team around Ibrahimovic, who we know is an amazing player, we can be a massive force. Didn't work out. No. Laurent Blanc wasn't the greatest manager. He wasn't the greatest manager and so forth. But I felt that Ibrahimovic failed. He was the star of the team. He was the king of the team. He was the guy to lead things. He failed. He failed. He was tasked with being the face of the club to send them to the final or win the CL, and he never even made a single final. So they needed someone, so PSG needed someone new. But before they even got that dude, you look at 2017, the darkest day in PSG's history, the day that the Hex was born. I remember looking at that 4-0. I think for both legs, for both legs, I was actually walking, I was actually in the office. I remember that 4-0, and I was like, oh. Because when I started 4-0, I was like, they've arrived. PSG have arrived. Like, Emery is the guy. This is who they were going for. Like, the mistake was always Laurent Blanc. The mistake was Laurent Blanc. And maybe Ibra, but Laurent Blanc. Emery is the dude. At that 4-0, I was like, this is a Barcelona. They can't come back from that. And you look at the second leg. As the game is going, I was like, okay, whoa. Could they? When Cavani scored that goal, I was like, boom. Game over. Done. Finito Cappuccino, it's done. There is nothing more to discuss. There's nothing more to discuss. It's finished. It's finished. So I was like, okay, cool. I remember I was watching it in the office with my colleague, and I think my colleague was obviously wanted Barca to win. And I was like, look, man, this is PSG's sign. Then it happened. One of the craziest 8, 9, 6 minutes in football history. Was some dude from Brazil who did that. When that happened, for me, that was when the wing was built. The wing was built, and PSG were the laughing stock. They were the laughing stock. You're a bunch of losers. You're a bunch of losers. It is what it is. You're crap. You don't even belong in this competition. But you should always have second chances. You should always have second chances. Just give someone a second chance. But before we go into the second chance, PSG were like, we need someone. And it is similar to like, if you can't beat him, join him. So they're like, the dude that did that to us, he's special. And these guys that he plays for don't recognize how special he is. But we're going to send it enough and say, bro, this is your team. Those guys don't appreciate you. It's Messi's team. It is what it is. You come here, this is your team. You have the keys to this kingdom. It's yours. Hence, they brought in Neymar, who they felt would succeed where Ibrahimovic failed. But before we got to about second chances, the nightmare in Paris. this should have been a sealed deal. Because remember, this was a United, not flipping Barcelona. And this was in Paris, at home, not at the Camp Nou. When you just saw how those events played out, it was like, okay, we are dealing with a hex here. We are dealing with witchcraft. We're dealing with white magic. Okay, white magic has cost this team. So from that point on, I was like, I think PSG are done. PSG are done. So it's a painful journey, painful road, painful traverse. But there was always the notion that the dude we brought in here didn't fail because he was never on the pitch. So that was the only tidbit. People like written them off, get the heck out of here, your wing is built, you're trash, you're a disgrace. But just say, okay, cool, we accept the pain. We are losing, we are an absolute disgrace. Based on how much we have spent on creating this team, it is an absolute disgrace how we are fed in this competition. Cool. But, ... Neymar. Somehow, some way, they were proven right. Because the notion was, this is why we brought him here. We thought it was Ibrahimovic. It wasn't that dude. It was always Neymar. And the dude that we spent all this more money on has helped to inspire and spearhead us into this Champions League final. So for PSG, the haters will be there. The haters will be there. They don't deserve to be there. They don't care. I think PSG, their hate gives them extra energy. And their main star, Neymar, he loves that hate. And Mbappe, he's coming on for the right. He's the young buck. So with all that, we've seen two very different journeys. I think Bayern Munich's journey is a case of you should have always been here. What went wrong? Because you're Bayern Munich, we know your history, what went wrong. You know, shout out to your boy Hansi Flick for maybe finding the remedy of putting them in there. For PSG, nobody believes you should be here. People don't want you to be here. You're an oil club, okay? You're a fake club. But PSG were like, okay, that's the hate is cool. We're still here. We've made it here. And you can't ignore us. You know? And so for Bayern is, we should have always been here. For PSG is, we want to be here and we want to be known to have always been here. Because they're the new kids on the block. Bayern Munich, they're part of the establishment. They're part of the caucus of the Barcelona, the Real Madrid, the Liverpool, and so forth. PSG, they're trying to come into... It's like you have that club, VIP spot. PSG's like, look, hi guys. And Bayern and Liverpool are like, wait, who are you? PSG's look, check the list. Oh, is my name on the list? Yeah, but, no, there's no yeah, but. Is my name on the list to be in this VIP spot? It is. Champagne, Moet, all that stuff, Chardonnay, let's ride. Boom. Deuce. Let's get a few deuces in as well. Come through. So, it's fascinating. Fascinating. And I think that is why this final, it feels so right. Because these are teams, one team, it's been so long since they've been here. For another team, it's the first time they've ever been here. And whoever wins out of these, for Bayern, it's, all right, we're back. We are back, and we are here to reestablish ourselves as Bayern Munich, the team to be feared. For PSG, for them, it would be a case of there's a new kid on the block. Like it or not, you're going to have to accept us as being part of this VIP group. We ride.
I am Poland. Poland is me. Say my name. Lewandowski. Face of the red, white. Beat nation, beat Bavarian. I hunt G's. You can call me the goal-scoring barbarian. But wait, where are my flowers? Record upon record. Said what's up to Madrid with the 4 flex. Wolfsburg felt our work with 5 in 9. No love? Waiting be that. Oh, you want the CL? Okay, I can work with that. But respect my start. My career is eye and stat. From front to back, read the whole book. The story starts as destiny, not a fluke. And it will end not in tragedy, but as the Polish nuke. If I give you this, then where do the streets place me? Where do the streets place me? Where do the streets place? I am Bayern. Bayern is me. Say my name. Lewandowski. Pekin from Santos, showing myself to the world. Wonder Kid they called me. Upon thee I won thee. Love, praise, status. Throne. They both took turns, tug of war between Portugal and Argentina. As I sat, watching golden balls escape me, made me meaner. Took those talents to Camp Nou. Needed to find something new, something to elevate, to reanimate. Myself to take. Throne. That miracle, that was me. I did that. A miracle, 7 minutes flat. But he has throne, not me. Even if I part the Red Sea, the Moses will always be Messi. Took those talents to Paris. Had to do things my way. Time to elevate, to reanimate my play. Oh, need a little prodigy? How about some Mbappe? Need that throne. Love me, hate me. This is what it is. All I wanted was a love, praise, status. So it has come to this. They say nice guys finish last, so I made arrogance my accomplice. I'm marvelous. You're a bar. You're Karius. I'm Neymar.
Nuke. Nuke, it's HH, man. Nuke, it's HH. Nuke, it's huge. It's huge. I just thought I would just call just to see that how you're feeling. You're confident. But Nuke, let me level with you. Do you understand how big this is for you on Sunday? You don't. No. Yeah, I know it's important, but do you understand what people have been saying about you, the narrative and so forth? Nuke, you can't ignore that stuff. Yeah, no, bro, I know, bro. Forget Hazem has had your back for it. Actually, do you actually know Hazem personally? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. But Nuke, you see, the thing about this is that you have to score in this final. No. Nuke, I don't think you understand where I'm coming from. You have to score in this final. Let me explain this to you. I always say this, and I think you probably know me whenever I say this. I said, it's not how many you score, it's when you score. Critically, because Nuke, if you score the winning goal, for this, it changes everything. I don't think you understand. It changes everything. Because then we now have a proper talk with Benzema and the kind of... Wait. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter whether you think you're better than them. All that matters is the streets. Okay, the streets still believe that you're a Bundesliga merchant. So obviously the streets right now are getting nervous because you're now in the final. So now the streets are like, okay, what if this guy actually wins the CL? He scored like 3,000 goals this season, something that's neither Cannibal or Benzema has done in the season. So that's what we're saying here right now. So if you're able to say what's up, it changes things dramatically. Dramatically. Yeah, I said dramatically. So you're ready? Oh, wow. So you feel it is your destiny that this isn't PSG's time. Wow. I mean, you say those are okay. You didn't score 50 G's for nothing. So you're going to do this for the doubters. Wow. Okay. Nuke, man. All right, man. So you're doing this for all the doubters then. So, but do you realize how massive this is? It says, just relax. It's got it all under control. Okay, Nuke, but look, Nuke, all that says that, look, man, things could change, but you remember you have to score. Because if you don't score, it makes the narrative slightly complicated. What? In a final? No, easy, no. Excuse me? Oh, wow. Truth. Oh, truth. That I never said those things about your sister or your. Do you think I'm? What? I was responding to the flipping Instagram thing. I never said anything about. No, that's flipping. That's Martin Rosario that was saying that stuff, man. Yeah, it's him. Like he said all stuff that you do the stuff to your mom. So go listen to me. It's his whole hosting. Yeah, it's him and Sergio Contral. Sergio, those are they're both mods. They're crazy. They said that you do stuff with your mom. So it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was not me. And okay, truth. Okay, truth, man. Ruth, let me land. Please, let me land. Thank you. God damn, look, the heck? Now, truth. I said these things because I know what you are. I know what you are. Everyone knows you are the best player in the world. Everyone knows. Everyone knows it. I was the one who said him leaving Barcelona, that's a boss move. I was hyped. I was in Nigeria eating jollof, pandediam and egusi soup and all that kind of stuff in Nigeria, in Lagos. And that was when the news broke. And I was ecstatic when it happened. I was like, he's moving to PSG. Huge move. Massive move. Because it brings better parity to the whole European football. No. Hey, look, it was never personal. It's always business. It's never personal. It's never personal. It's always business. It is always business. See, truth. This is a massive game for you. This is a huge, colossal, massive game for you. There are a lot of people that don't want you to win this. Namely, Messi fans. Because there are people out there who have tweets ready to put you ahead of Messi. Because Messi fans are frightened. Messi and Cristiano fans, they are frightened of if you win and you do your thing. Because see, this is what I was even saying to Nick. See, truth, if you are man of the match and you score the key goal in this, it is very difficult to see past you being the guy on the throne. I don't know how we see past you as you being on the throne, because that is a game changer. What? Right. Truth. No, the truth. Truth. Just slow down, relax. Slow down, just relax. Truth. This isn't Croissant FC. This isn't Leipzig. This is Bayern Munich. Did you watch the Barcelona game? Oh, okay. Wait, truth. Relax. That's not funny. Truth. Relax. That's not truth. If Barca fans had how you reacted, they would be pissed off. You can't. No. Come on. Truth. Like that was bad. Well, how? Oh, he said then they should have kept him so it wouldn't have happened. Truth. I get it, but look, it was bloodshed, man. was bloodshed, my friend. What's they talking? I did the holidays. They talk much and they go no. Please now, have mercy. They don't conk their head now. Good day. 8-2, 8 what? Good shit. Now, truth. Look, Sunday is colours. Like, it's big, it's huge. Like, I mean, my gosh, like, I mean, I think I've used all of my production powers on creating this whole pre-match thing, and this is obviously one of the pieces for the pre-match motion picture. If you say what's up, first of all, this is what I even want to ask Nick. Do you know a guy called Just Beston? You don't. Okay, no. I just wanted to ask because I thought you knew him. Are you sure he's not your PR manager? He doesn't work for you for promotional purposes? Okay. I just wanted to check. So here's the thing right now. It's like, look, because if you win this and you've been the main man, this is a boss move, and this changes the entire landscape. Because I'm looking at Messi, I'm looking at Christian, and I'm looking at the same situation there. This could be a turning point, similar to what I said with Mbappe in the game against Argentina. That was a turning point. So this could be a potential turning point. Truth. You're talking about Bayern Munich. You can't say that. It's Bayern Munich. Truth. You know you're going to get a lot more hits for this. You realize that you're going to get a lot more hits. Whoa! What the heck? Truth, come on, man. You can't use that kind of language. What? Oh, ew! What the heck? Man, you have a very dirty mind, man. Jesus. But yeah, I mean, but it's actually pretty funny. Whoa, what? No. So if you show up, I can't praise you. I was never one of your haters. So you do know Just Beston. What? So Just Beston can praise you, but I can't praise you. No. Just Beston was saying all that bad stuff about you. He was hating you. I was the guy that was supporting you. Wow. Whoa. Said I should go F myself. See, nobody can ever do things on their own. I mean, the closest thing to that feat was your boy Armando. Armando was the closest guy who said what's up literally by himself. That's why he's Armando. That is why for me he is my personal goat. It is what it is. But for most mortals who are not Armando, you do need soldiers, you need troops, you need a regiment, you need a supporting cast to say what's up. You look at Di Maria. I think that people are sleeping on what Di Maria has done and what he's about, because he's one of those sneaky guys, which is why you have to really be wary about him, because the spotlight is Neymar Mbappe. But if you look at a lot of PSG's games and a lot of the games that they've won and games where they've played well, Di Maria has been clutch. And the thing about Di Maria is that it's his personality and his mentality. He has the Robin mentality. He doesn't shrink on the big stage. You can just see there's just something about him that he wants to say what's up on the biggest stage. Because again, I say this right now. I still say Germany win, but it would have been a more interesting game if Di Maria was fit for that 2014 World Cup final. So I think, Di Maria, when you saw what he did at United, people were like, okay, is he that good? Then you saw what he did at Real Madrid. And many Real Madrid fans will say, should have never have sold dude. Should never have sold dude because the guy was money for Real Madrid. But now he's come to PSG and people are beginning to appreciate just how good of a player that he is and the kind of quality that he brings in that area, because every time the guy has the ball, he has a very, very old school Argentine South American flex, where fearless, brave, I'm here to dribble, I'm here to go straight. So there is that extreme courage within seizing the moment on the biggest possible stage. Marco for me is similar to Hazard. Sometimes I blame myself. I'm just a regular analyst who says, for me, ability-wise, Marco Verratti is the best midfielder in the world. Because the way, I told you, I played as a central midfielder. I didn't play every position. Relax. I didn't play every position. Okay? My main position in school growing up was central midfield. So whenever I watch games, the position I watch the most are central midfielders, because that is the position I understand the most, because that's the position that I played. So when I look at Verratti and how he plays the central midfield position, I'm like, wow, he's amazing. I'm looking at other central midfielders. For me, he's the best central midfielder out there. My God in heaven. You see, it's a weird one for Verratti, because you've not really been part of the effort specifically for the knockout stage to a large extent. So you say to yourselves that him coming, see, this could be a game in which he shuts out the critics, because if he is picked, starting and up to start, if he has an amazing game that leads to PSG winning and he's one of the best players on the pitch, I mean, look, guys, what can he say? Then I am free. Then I have been fully vindicated. The adverse, if he drops a break and he's garbage and he gets run around by your boy Goretzka and your boy Thiago and so forth, I might shut down my Twitter. And I might send HTH to do the post-match, because I'm not sure I could withstand that hate that would be led by that break. I almost called him go clock, but that break lock and Latin Law Zari, because those two guys, they will be after me. And I am frightened of those guys. If Verratti lays a break, PSG lose, and Bayern win, and let's say he even gets a flipping on goal. Thiago Silva. You see, Thiago Silva is one of those dudes where, he's also the forgotten man. Because remember, the joke was when he was at AC Milan, which is when he was arguably one of the best defenders in the world, he used to defend all four positions. He was literally defending all by himself. He was an elite defender. 2014 happened. He was not obviously on our pitch for 7-1. Went over to PSG. Ever since he's gone to PSG, it's really been about Van Dijk, Koulibaly, Sergio Ramos, Laporte, so forth. He's pretty much fallen out from the radar. So for Thiago Silva, this could be like a bit of a reminder of saying, you know what, remember me. And if he comes in and has a big-time performance, a big-time say, it can be a thing. You know what? I know that I may have not been in the consciousness of top the defenders, but let me just say what's up. This is my chance just to say what's up, to say, you know what, I'm still here, and let me drop this big-time performance in the biggest game possible in club football. Mbappe. I mean, it was the reason why I just love the dude and so forth was what he said when he thought he was going to be injured. Obviously, now cup final, when that loser almost injured him, he cried all night. He cried all night, and because he thought that, oh my gosh, I was going to miss it. Because I think Mbappe, he realizes what he is. When he scored that goal, the World Cup final, second teenager to do so. When Pele then sort of sent a message out to him, Mbappe was like, wow, this is it. Like, the spotlight really is on me. I think for Mbappe, he knows he's in a moment, and he wants to seize that moment, and he knows that, I want to emulate R9. I want to emulate Pele. I want to emulate these phenomenons, these prodigies. Because a prodigy is a Mozart. A prodigy is, there's this guy, this Nigerian artist, I think he's about 10 or 11 years old, called Waspa.art, who does ridiculous paintings and stuff. Even my brother as well, when he was very young, he was an amazing artist. Haley Joel Osment, the young actor from Sixth Sense. Prodigies are young people who show particular abilities of much older people, that they are wise beyond their years. and they have been touched divinely. They've been touched by something special, that they are doing things at an age that they shouldn't be doing at an age. And I think Mbappe realizes that you've been touched. You are special. And he knows that that to really enter into that legacy, that legendary status, this is what you have to do. You've got the World Cup, but this is really important. As in, the guys that are in a special category are the guys that set what's up in a World Cup final and guys that set what's up in a Champions League final. So for Mbappe, it is huge and it's massive for him as well. Thomas Muller is a curious case. Thomas Muller is a very, very curious case because when he sort of came through 2010, 2014, the belief was he's breaking the goal scoring record. This is the next dude. You get Muller, was it R9, then closer. Muller is next into it. And this was it. This was the next dude. And I remember when I first saw Muller. I remember it was me and my friend, because it was during the Bayern Munich's 2010 Champions League run, and I used to call him Muller Rice. I was like, who is this trash dude? Like how the heck am I not a professional football player and this dude is a professional football player? Because I was like, this dude is trash. I don't have no idea. But more and more we learn to appreciate him. That no. He may not have the flair of a Dino, a Romario, and so forth, but he's extremely effective. And he's one of the most intelligent football players you'll find. His football IQ is off the flipping charts. And that is why every manager has to have a Thomas Muller in their team, because he just gets things done. He understands the dynamics of a match. And my God, character, mentality, heart, soul, determination, forget about it. He's that dude. And I think for Thomas Muller, this would add to what is an extremely impressive career that includes a treble, that includes a World Cup, and to do yet another treble would be huge. And a big part of Bayern Munich's resurgence under Hansi Flick has been Thomas Muller. He was put out by Kovac. Kovac wasn't using him, and then I was like, okay, wow, Thomas Muller's done. Hansi Flick came in, so man, chill with my German brother, man. Okay, we are not saying Auf Wiedersehen to my German brother now. No. Thank you, Niko Kovac, but get the heck out of here. So Muller comes in, and wow, he's back to that dude, the evasive dude who you don't know where he's going to pop up, but he interprets a football match in such an intelligent, high IQ way. So for him, he wants this, because this will be a case of, you thought I was done. HHU, you thought I was done. Your boy's back. Your boy's here to say what's up. He is the best in his position. He is the best in his position. Oh, Canada. How does the national anthem go? Shout out to my Canadian people. Some Canadian women there are pretty cool. I think, what's it again? Jamie Keep easy. That's what separate. Shh. Alphonso Davies is outstanding. Truly amazing, and he's had quite an outstanding year. An absolutely stupendous year. And I think for Alphonso Davies, you're seeing this could be the measures of quite an amazing, exciting talent. And I think he has, for me, has been one of the stories of the year. Because obviously we look at the legacy players, the 25-year-olds. But for me, I am obsessed with the future. I'm obsessed with who is going to form the next pantheon of superstars the next 4, 5, 6 years. And at 19 years old, my eyes are firmly rooted on Alphonso Davies, and he has formed a great part of Bayern Munich's season so far. They're absolutely stupendous season. I think for Alphonso Davies, he knows that boom, this is the biggest one. A second round is huge. A quarterfinal is bigger. A semi-final is bigger. Doesn't get any bigger than this. And he now knows that, what? It's one more game. Just one more game. One more great performance. I think for him, if he puts in that big time performance that helps Bayern win, I mean, my gosh, like it would do wonders for him. And I think for Bayern, they'd be like, okay, cool. Not for flipping sale. COVID or no COVID, not for flipping sale. Because I think if Alphonso Davies now plays that big time, it's a major part of them winning this game. I shudder to think of what his value could be. We're looking at 300, 400, 500 million, because at 19 years old, his upside, and if he can still improve, it is frightening to think what he could be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So for Thiago, it's one of those things of, I don't think he ever wanted to leave Barcelona. He never wanted to leave, but the squad was too stark. This was before 8-8. This was way before 8-2. But he never wanted to leave. But Thiago realized that there are too many good players here, too many quality players here, and I don't want to be part of his squad rotation. So he took his talents to Munich. And it's been a long road. And you see, I don't know whether Thiago took his decision to join Liverpool because he just wanted a new challenge, or because he felt, I'm not sure whether this team can win a Champions League. Because it's one of those things of where he's always been an amazing player. This is even before Bayern. He's always been an amazing player. Again, I forgot. I think this is Mazinho. He's the son of a Brazilian player who was part of the '94 Brazil squad. So even if he plays for Spain, his blood is Brazilian. So it is what it is. He's always been quality. But he's in the final now. And this is something where I don't think he thought he'd ever get a chance to, based on all those near misses and so forth. But now that, wait a minute, this is it. This could now, this is what very few people can achieve. The treble, and being a mainstay and large part of this, because he thought that he could never maybe achieve this, especially when he left Barcelona. He thought maybe with Bayern it could happen, but leaving Barcelona he thought it would be difficult. But now he's here. And I am just interested to think of his psychology and his mentality. If he wins this, you look at that Champions League medal, look at the DFB Pokal medal, you look at that Bundesliga medal and be like, and then you look at Alphonso Davies, you look at all of the other young players, and you look at Hansi Flick, and be like, I'm leaving this? 2020? It's definitely, this is Bayern who think 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. Should I leave? It's interesting. Serge. The boy Serge. One of the best things that pleases me the most in life is improvement. Okay, this player was a prodigy. He was amazing when he was 18 and 19. Okay, cool. But a player who was average, maybe useless, maybe even a brick, to now improve and become world-class and upper tier 2, that's an amazing thing to see. Gnabry's improvement is amazing. The only person who I think has had better improvements was Iniesta, but I would argue Gnabry's improvement, as in his arc, from where he started to where he is now, I think is greater than Iniesta, because Iniesta was actually still pretty good. Gnabry was just some dude from the road. So going from dude from the road to arguably top 3 best players in the world this year, I think is flipping huge. And Gnabry will know that if I can close the deal here, my gosh, my name has to be in the house as one of the best players this year, because it's not only the goals, it's not only the assist, it's not only the consistent play, it's the critical plays, it's the critical goals, and the importance he's had to this team. What's it called? I think in the past 2 seasons he's been voted Bayern's best player, and yet again, yes, Lewandowski has got all the goals, but it's a season in which he has been paramount. He's been huge. He has been absolutely importante. So if he's able to do this thing, he can be huge. Navas, if he plays, or so forth, even if Navas plays, even if he doesn't play, Real Madrid fans, they never wanted to lose this dude. They never wanted to lose this dude. And I was one of the ones that said, Keylor Navas should never leave. So I think for Navas, he will feel that, look, bro. Because remember, whether he plays or he doesn't play, that save he made in the Atlanta game was massive. That was a massive save he made. And which is why it's crazy what Real Madrid did. He did that on multiple occasions. Yes, he may have made mistakes, but you can create a showreel of some of the critical saves he made during that Real Madrid run, and he was very much an important part of that Real Madrid career run. So for him to come to PSG and to win this CL, something that Buffon was unable to flip into, I think he would look at Real Madrid and say, hey, you should have never let me go. You should have never let me go. Because don't just pick a name. Oh, it's good Courtois, we know him. No. It's about what I mean to the team. Forget my name, forget my status. It's about what do I mean to this team. And he may say, this is what I mean to this team. I can help yet another team contribute not to it to a CL, but their first ever CL. Neuer, the captain, the leader. You know, I remember Neuer, I think it was even last season, before they faced Liverpool, where they said, no, we think Bayern Munich have a great chance this season and so forth. Then Saudi Man, then LDO clowned him. Then people like Neuer is finished, he's done, and so forth. And I think that probably hurt Neuer's pride. And I think Neuer has definitely been one of those who has been hurting deeply during this Bayern run that Bayern Munich have had. So with them back in there, I think Neuer now knows that, all right, you know, I have to, this is me now. This is all me. And I'm the leader of this team. I have taken up upon the reins from the great Bart Simpson. And I need to do my part in helping my team go through. And I think Neuer 100% wants this. He wants this badly. He wants this badly because he knows how hard they've been working over these past 7 years, how much pain they've taken before they've been able to get it. And if he gets this, similar to Mola, similar to Boateng as well, resume is looking damn good, man. So there are so many stories, so many narratives, so many storylines in here. But as I said again, we know about the stars, we know about the superstars, but something tells me that maybe the superstars aren't the ones to have a say, that it's going to be someone from the supporting cast who may say something and say what's up and maybe the definitive people to lead the CL win. And if it comes down to penalties, we could have some heroes, we could have some flipping villains. Thomas. Is that your name? Thomas. I'll keep it real. And I told you I never change. I never change. I have always been on the record in saying that you don't have what it takes to win a Champions League with PSG. You're the wrong man. And why do I say this? See, I love the psychological parts of football. I love the psyche of football. You know, and I look a lot about coaching, management, and so forth. And the thing about management is this, Tommy boy, is it's, yes, you can have your strategy and so forth and everything. A lot of it is about man management. Man-to-man management. Understanding your fellow man and so forth. So I just felt that this job was too big for you because the egos, the players, the pressure, and so forth, I didn't feel you had the attitude to get the best out of these dudes. But I'll be real with you, you know, managing PSG ain't easy. So people say, whoa, HH, wait a minute. Whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean? I thought, you know, you always want Pep and people to do their thing for Scunthorpe and Ibar and so forth. Shouldn't it be easy with PSG? Now, it is, of course, easier to win something with PSG than it is to do with a flipping Scunthorpe. Shout out to my Scunthorpe people out there. But it is difficult in a sense of what kind of manager you are. Because we all saw with Emery. See, we saw with Emery, Thomas boy. We saw with Emery, because with Emery trying to say what's up, Neymar was managing the flipping team. He was coaching the flipping team. And once I saw that, of how the egos took over the managers, that, all right, you need a Mourinho here. You need an Ancelotti. You need a Zidane. You need someone who the players have to respect. So with you coming in, I thought, they're not going to respect you. They're not going to respect you. But it is what it is. You are in a final. And your style has always been, Neymar is that dude. Neymar is that dude. Like, Neymar is someone who you need to tell him that this is your team. Because for me, I've always said, okay, Neymar, is he is he disciplined enough? He's holding the ball too much and so forth. Because there may be some managers who will look at Neymar and be like, no. You have a strict role here. You must do this. You must be disciplined. And that may cause him to be angry, and that may cause him to be less effective. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the team. It's about winning. So you do what you need to do to win. There are certain players you operate a certain way, and other players you operate a certain way. I don't believe that you treat all the players the same. People say, oh no, that's unfair. There should not be any player who's better than any other person. That's not how football works. Maybe you told me that's not how football works. Your superstar has to be treated differently. And the key thing, if you know teams or you've been on teams, players will know that, oh no, that's a superstar. He has to be treated like that. Obviously, if he messes up, you're going to say something to him, but we know what he can do. Because we know what he can do, he has a different relationship with the manager. And we know this. We accept this. Because for us, we want to win. And how he's treated is what will lead us to winning. So, Tommy, Mr. Tuchel, this is huge for you. This is huge because Laurent Blanc failed, Emery failed, and the feeling was specifically after the miracle at Camp Nou and in Paris, there's nobody can win with this PSG team. They will never win. I have been leading the front with the flipping pitchfork saying PSG can never win a Champions League. Hey, they can never really get to a flipping CL final. But here we are. You found your way into a CL final. Your gamble with Mbappe paid off, bringing him on in there. And they've done so playing a brand of football. The brand of football that we saw at Dortmund, that was sort of similar to what Klopp wanted to bring in. Very silky, very easier on the eye, lots of nice, intricate passes, which is cultivated and spearheaded by the immense creativity of Neymar. But there's one more step now, Thomas. There's one more step because you win this, you are a legend at PSG. That's a fact. That is a fact. You are a legend at PSG because this is the PSG fans have won this so much. They've never had this before. They've never had this experience. Wow, we are Champions League winners. They've never had this before. They've never been able to say we've got this before. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Marseille. I was going to say, has your friend team ever won the CL? I think Marseille did with Desailly. So I didn't think you would do this. I didn't think you would do this. And this just, even if I still somehow feel that a Mourinho, Zidane, or specifically a Mourinho management style is the best for this kind of team, I don't know how Mourinho and Neymar would be. I don't know how Mourinho and Neymar would clash. I don't know whether Neymar would enjoy to be in a Mourinho setting because Mourinho would not change his general philosophy for anybody. It's not going to happen. But you have created a situation where we've seen the best of Neymar. I'll keep it real. This is Neymar at his best. Neymar was not at his best at MSN, and I complain that Neymar needs to be given his free role, and we're not seeing the best of Neymar at Barcelona. For Neymar, for PSG, and the kinds of things that he's been doing, this is the dude who I believe at his very best is the best player in the world. And you have given him the platform to do this. But there's one more step. There's one more step. And I think, like, you've always, because again, you're not a Klopp, you're not a Pep, you're not a Mourinho, you're not a known name. But if you do this, you're known. You're known. You're that dude. You are that dude that people say, aha, let's give him that dub. He did what many people say was the important. Forget about, see, what I don't like is when people say, oh no, it's PSG, they should win. No. Every people say, there's no manager that can win with these dudes. These guys are cursed. They're hacks. They will never win. They're a bunch of bums. So you would have done what was the impossible in winning in with these dudes. Hansi. Beware of the assistant. Beware of the secondary dude. I remember for so long in Germany, because see, I'm very good with faces. That's why I have so many autographs from actors, because whenever I walk the street, I'm like, yeah, I instantly recognize faces. And I was always saying, yeah, I always see this guy in that German coaching docket. I always see him in the docket. He's always there. And then, the whole thing with the Kovac happened. And when you came in, people thought, okay, this is a stopgap. Let's be real. This is a stopgap. Even when you were managing, remember, I think they lost to Bayern Leverkusen. The guys were like, okay, Pochettino, Benitez, Wenger, even Mourinho at a point. And you took things in this, right? You're like, cool. I'm just going to do my work. Things take time. You have to figure out the team chemistry. You have to impose your philosophy. You have to destroy the Niko Kovac philosophy and bring in your own philosophy. You have to rejuvenate Thomas Muller. You have to get the Bayern Munich swag back. You have to get the best of Lewandowski. And it took time, but eventually you've built a machine. You've built the most impressive team this season. I say, win or lose, based on what you've done in the Champions League and in the league, you have been the most impressive team this season in terms of performance, in terms of what you've done with the individuals, and in terms of goals scored. Because look at the way in which you've disposed of teams in this CL has been nasty. Absolutely nasty. It is frightening the amount of goals that you have flipped and scored. You have helped Alphonso Davies become the best left back in the world. You have contributed to Lewandowski having his best season statistically. You have contributed to Thomas Muller refining himself yet again. And it is great what you've done with the Kukurecka and how effective you've made him. You've done amazing things. And you're at the cusp of a treble. And I look at what you've done here and so forth. And for me, it pleases me. I am one of those guys that I always root for the little guy. It is what it is. I don't know what it is about me. I root for the underdog. I like the unknown being known. I like the lesser known person suddenly gaining praise and gaining adulation. And that's what you've been able to do. And and nobody knew of Hansi Dieter Flick before this, but now the people know. And I think that it goes back to the whole thing of man management. I thought Thomas Muller was done. But 100%, you looked at it and said, no. I understand him. And he is important. Many people like me that said, I think he's done. He's out of form. Is what it is. But you're like, but you believed in him. And there is nothing greater than a player who is going through a tough time and so forth. And the manager comes and says, I believe in you. Trust me, I'll get you back to your best. And I think Muller owes you. Muller owes you a lot. And I look at just how you're getting the team playing, how attacking they are, how offensive they are, how dynamic they are, how free they are, how expressive this team is. It is amazing to see. And your Pankers would be proud. Your Pankers would be flipping proud. And I'll keep it real with you. You didn't start this season. Let's just put all the cards on the table. You did not start this season. You took over what was a train wreck. So mid-season, you had to work on something that was broken. Broken players, maybe disillusioned players, maybe slightly angry players with the issues with Niko Kovac. So not only did you do that, turn this team around, played superb football as well, but you could be on the cusp of a treble. This, for me, could be... I'll be real with you. Okay, I'll say it. This would be the most impressive treble by any manager in history. It would be. Because Pep Guardiola had that team from the start, and they weren't broken. Rijkaard didn't give Pep a broken team. Fergie, he had that team from the start. And he had that team for several years. That was several years in the making. Mourinho, he had that team from the start. Your Pankers, he had that team from the start. Luis Enrique, he had that team from the start, and Emerson as well. You didn't have this team from the start. And they were broken when they were given to you. And to win a treble with it, for me, it would be the most impressive treble achieved by a manager. And that would just be absolutely outstanding, and it will set you guys up coming through. So we look at both of you guys right now. On one hand, you have Tuchel, who he wins this. I did it. Haters, what up? Haters, I did it. I did, because I have to stress this. Everyone said these guys are losers. They're bums. They're sellouts. They'll never win. They are built. There's an inbuilt losers mentality in this. That's what everyone said. So you can't change your tune. So if Tuchel says what's up, you have to give him that dub, because he did the impossible. He destroyed and dismantled the Hex and flipping what they see with PSG of all teams, and gave this club their very first ever CL. And remember, let's keep it real. Another got Neymar and Mbappe, they are going in as slight underdogs. They're going in as a slight underdogs. And they have not had as tough as a run as Bayern Munich, who are doing crazy things. Fancy Flick, as I've already said, he wins this. This would be the most... Look. Okay. Tuchel, if let's say Tuchel, he wins a treble quadruple, that's impressive. That's still impressive. But still, if Hansi Flick wins this, it would be the most impressive treble there has ever been. Ever. Based on the circumstances he took over and the kind of job he did. Because I know what Andy Kukovac's team looked like and how they played and how they struggled. And how he totally turned that team around to this. The most impressive treble. So, my generals, guys tasked with leading their men to war. Peaceful war. Peace. Make love, no war. This is for football war. I'm always a peaceful person. For these guys leading their men into peaceful battle, football battle, it's big. It's big, you know. Those subs will be huge. Those tweaks will be huge. You know, there are no do-overs, there's no second chances. It is this 90 minutes, and for this 90 minutes, you've got to somehow say, what up? Let's pop. So for Bayern Munich, the team picks itself. I think the only question mark for the Bayern Munich side is, of course, your main man, Boateng, because we don't know that Boateng will be fit. And if he's not fit, of course, you will have Sule in there. But let's just assume that Boateng is fit. It's itself. Davis, Alaba, Boateng, Kimmich all up in there, Neuer up in there, Thiago, Goretzka, your boy Muller, Perisic, Gnabry, and Lewandowski. So I think it's a final, and the temptation for this being a final is, do we want to change things? We want to do something different. But I think he'll obviously want to know. Obviously, we'll get to PSG and sort of and how that can integrate with PSG and so forth. But I think what Hansi Flick will want to say to his guys is, let's test them. Let's start really strong. Because I think what always happens is that in these games, especially you look at the Lyon game and the Barcelona game, they really got that high line. But I still think he will also say we push up, we push these guys right up, and we are very, very aggressive. The midfield is going to be very important. I think Thiago's and Goretzka's work in the midfield is going to be very key, especially when Davis or Kimmich they bunch in and trying to win that ball in that midfield, get bodies in there, and winning it in key areas and giving it to Perisic and Gnabry and seeing how well they can cope. So I believe Perisic and Davis will be on the side of Kara. So Perisic could have a very, very, very key role to play in this game, because I feel Bernat is a decent defender, but we'll also see the Gnabry thing as well. But Muller's going to be huge. Muller's going to be huge, and I think for Muller, he will want to know that he knows that I will have space in this game. There will be space given to me based on the kind of team that's PSG are, being inexperienced in this kind of level of football and how attacking they will be. So Muller finding himself in key spots will be very important. And I think Hansi Flick will be saying to Muller that keep moving, interpret the space, and get in dangerous positions. And what he'll instruct a Perisic and a Gnabry to do is find Muller in those key areas. But the key thing is for Lewandowski as well. What Hansi Flick wants are situations where Davis and Kimmich are right on there, specifically Davis, and that ball is put across aggressively. But what he wants from them is create a situation, create those situations where you are given whether it's Perisic, whether it's Muller, whether it's even Thiago, or especially for Thiago. If Thiago's here, find the switch. If the overload is over here, find the switch, give that ball to Davis, because what you want is Davis to get it to the byline. He gets to the byline. He's a very good crosser. He's a very good, intelligent, consistent crosser. Gets the byline, and it brings a better chance for Lewandowski to get that check, because I think what Lewandowski is doing, because he's got great movement, moving, last second move out. So maybe Lewandowski will say to Davis is, do the cutback. Get to the byline, do the copper, because I will be able to maneuver myself, moving, hustle up with Thiago Silva, Kimpembe, do the cutback as well. Because I think for Lewandowski, it's about the deliverance. If you give him a good delivery, as we have seen, he will G up. So Hansi Flick will be saying to his boys that, especially if things are tight, because I think it's going to be a tight game. If this game is tight, I want deliverance. I want to be delivered. I want deliverance and good quality deliverance from you. So let's now look at what's it called? Let's now look at PSG. Oh, sorry. Let's look at PSG now. Sorry. Should be these boys. There we go. Okay, so switched. PSG. So we expect Navas to be in goal. That's what we're hearing, that Navas is going to start in goal. So we're cool on that. So I suppose this is the defense: Bernat, Silva, Kimpembe, Kera. I'm worried about Kera in there. Go ahead. Now the front three, I believe he will go with his front three. I don't think he'll go with Icardi, but we can discuss Icardi, whether Icardi might be someone to be used here. But let's just as I'm assuming that he's going to go with that front three, that back four. Now the midfield is where we now have to talk. We now have to have a discussion here, because it's Marquinhos. Of course, Marquinhos will be in that midfield. It will be crazy and insane to not start him in this game. But it was a gaze around. I don't know whether he's injured. You've also got Paredes as well. You cannot break this defensive partnership, because it has gotten you this far. Silva and Kimpembe. It's obviously normally Silva and Marquinhos, but Silva and Kimpembe have been a great partnership. You don't, unless you're Frank Lampard, you don't break a central defensive partnership. So the question is this: do you start Verratti? That's the question. Do you start Marco Verratti in a game of this magnitude? Face value, obviously, it's Marco Verratti. He's one of your best players. He's one of your most gifted players. But let's just make the arguments. Yes, it was lesser opposition. It was a lesser midfield. But this lineup, Paredes, Herrera, Marquinhos, we looked dominant. But this is now where managers have to make a big boy decisions. Sometimes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you have to look at things more holistically and say to yourselves that, based on the opposition, does this midfield work? Based on the opposition, does this midfield work? And my argument is, you have to just do it, because what you need, because again, Leipzig's midfield isn't Bayern Munich's midfield. Last I checked, Bayern Munich don't have a guy called Goretzka. Last I checked, they don't have a guy called Thiago Alcantara. That's last I checked. Last I checked, they don't have a guy called Thomas Muller. Okay, these guys are hustlers. Okay, these guys are full hustlers, and the present game is out of this world. So the things of how you having Verratti in there is, you need key passes, because what PSG have been lacking in their last two games, the quarterfinal and the semi, is there are no penetrative passes. There are no forward passes. There's no one from midfield making those dangerous forward attacking passes. And that is what Verratti can do. But my thing about this is that he's been injured. He's not played the semi, he's not played the quarterfinal. And the fear is he's going up against a midfield who have played the second round, quarter, and semi. So Goretzka, Thiago, Muller, they are very much match fit, and they are very sharp. So will that sharpness and lack of sharpness from Verratti come to haunt PSG in that midfielder? That is the real big fear. Which is why I say it's a big call to make. If it's me, I love Verratti, and Verratti is my guy. If it's me, I might start with this. Because what she wants from this is, okay, these guys are going to hustle, but we cannot lose that midfield battle. We can't. And my instruction for guys is, the key thing is, get the ball to Neymar as quickly as possible. Get the ball. So for Marquinhos and Perez, we don't need you to make crazy Hollywood passes or superb, amazing, intricate through balls. But when you have the ball either on the cancel or so forth, or if Bayern Munich are overloading towards you, get that ball to Neymar as quickly as possible, because the quicker it gets to Neymar, the better chance that he can use Mbappe and Di Maria out on those flanks. And if Mbappe and Di Maria time their runs, Neymar can say what's up. I didn't say he will say what's up. I said he can say what's up. If Mbappe and Di Maria time the runs, Neymar can maybe say what up. He can maybe say what's up. I say, you know what? Let's talk. That's the thing. He can have a conversation. Okay, you just have a simple conversation if he gets given that ball. So let's look back at Bayern now again. See, this is something that pisses me off. So, what are we doing? Here we go. Sorry. So, Bayern. So, you see, for Bayern, the dangers, let's just look at the potential dangers that Bayern could potentially have. You see, the dangers that Bayern have and what they want to try and avoid which is why Alaba and Boateng are key, especially Alaba because of his speed and his reading of the game. It's Mbappe. So Mbappe is going to be on Kimmich's side. Kimmich is a quality defender, but Kimmich has to know and has to be aware. See, sometimes defensively, Kimmich can be a bit worrisome. I remember I looked at him at the World Cup, it looked a bit worrisome. So the thing about Kimmich is he has to know what the MO is from PSG, which is Mbappe is looking to time that run, and Neymar is looking for that pass. But also as well, if Mbappe is here, Kimmich has to know about what is he going to do with that step over, or is he going to cut in on the inside and look like he did in the Leipzig game, look for the reverse pass given to Neymar. That's where Alaba and Boateng must be key. But the key thing is if they are very high up and so forth, and Mbappe times that pass, Neymar times that pass, then Neuer has to bring all of his experience to maybe sweeper keep or something if Alaba or Boateng cannot even get in there. So for Davis, it's slightly different because Di Maria isn't a direct speedy player, but he's a very smart, crafty player. So Davis has to watch out for the unorthodox movement that Di Maria is bringing into this whole flex. So Di Maria may be coming there with some kind of different flex to try and say what's up. So he's going to be wary of that. Because the thing about Di Maria is that he could go in, he could go out. But for Bayern Munich again, man, it's I think the key for them, the key for Bayern Munich, I feel, for them getting those goals is, I think, call me crazy, Muller is going to be very important. I think Gnabry is going to be huge. Gnabry is going to be absolutely huge and massive, and Bayern Munich have to be aware of the danger that Gnabry poses, because Gnabry is a danger, and I think Gnabry could have said something in this game. But I feel Bayern, if Muller can put himself in key positions, because Muller is a big-time player. He's a big-time player. He knows what's up. If he can put himself in key, dangerous areas, that could be a key point for Bayern Munich. And I think for Lewandowski is it's huge because Kimpembe and Thiago Silva, they're going to be on him. And they're going to mark him very, very tightly. And what they'll want to know is, but even the PSG midfield is stop the supply to Lewandowski. So PSG will know that if we just completely take him out of the game, you now have to beat us out wide with these dude Perisic and Gnabry. And I think what PSG don't want to happen is Gnabry and Perisic coming to the byline. Because see, you could just see how these different teams operate. See, for Bayern Munich, it's the different spots that Muller takes. Muller's not going to be holding onto the ball or bringing the ball up. It is him collecting the ball in specific areas and doing damage, either with a pass or running off of a take-on. So his movement has to be worked on and watched very closely by PSG. But also as well, it is these dudes, Kimmich and Davis. But specifically, see, Davis is the dude that really gets to the byline. Remember, it was his ball across that Lewandowski sort of scoffed and Gnabry put away, but him getting to the byline is what Bayern Munich wants. If you can create a situation, so what PSG wants is there's a man in front of him. So We make the cross as difficult as possible. What they don't want is there's nobody in front of Davis because of a great pass that has bamboozled the defender, and Davis now has everything to aim at because I told you, Davis, he's a very smart, accurate crosser of the ball. That's going to be very key. But I think for Thiago and Goretzka, they will know that let's bully those midfielders. Press them hard, press them deep. And that's the key thing as well. What are PSG? They're a passing team. The passing team, let's get back to PSG now. Let's go back to PSG. So PSG are a passing team. And this is basically sort of the basics you always learn in management or championship or anything like that is when you're going up against a passing team, you press them. But if you're a pressing team against a team that goes direct and goes long, you could be screwed. So it is important that they use the ball a lot better, which is why I said that it's going to be a very big call of Boko gets. This is a completely different game from Leipzig. And Atalanta, but specifically from Leipzig, this is a completely different game. So the amount of time on the ball that PSG had against Leipzig, they will not have that kind of time on the ball against Bayern. They will not have that. So it is important for PSG that there is an outball, which is why it is a big time decision. Because the thing is, if you bring in Verratti, the reason why I love Verratti is that he doesn't understand what fear is. I don't know what, maybe because he's from the streets of Italy, he doesn't understand what fear is. And Verratti is very capable of playing a forward pass, especially under pressure. He's not the guy that needs to keep the ball. He can play that pass under pressure. And the thing as well for Neymar now, this is going to be very important. Neymar likes to hold on to the ball. He wants to hold on to the ball. But Tuchel may say to Neymar that, Neymar, these guys are very aggressive and physical. And Goretzka, I'm sure right now that Flick has told Goretzka that get physical on this dude. Harass this dude because he will hold on to the ball. So Tuchel will say, Neymar, you need to try and find the pass because you will attract attention. Because what they will try to do is double team you, hustle you, because they know what you're capable of in space. So they will make sure that you're not facing towards goal. So for Neymar, if Neymar can find the pass, so whenever Neymar has the ball, it is very important that Di Maria and Mbappe, they are set. Even before he gets the ball, they are set. So all Neymar has to do is literally, without thinking, he's already hit that pass. He hits that diagonal pass, he's hit that through ball. It's like, okay, let's now test your jaw. Let's test your chin. Let's test your line as well. So for Bernat and for Kera, it's Perisic who'll be out on the left. Perisic, he can be up and down. So, but my thing for Kera, the danger for Kera is Davis. It's the overlap because Perisic will be looking for the overlap of Davis, or Thiago will be looking for the outball given to the Davis. So Kera's positioning will be very important because what Kera doesn't want is to be caught out of position and have a situation where Davis is on now Bayern and can now say what's up. So for Navas, he's going to have to be key. Navas knows he's going to have to be key because you know that because for Navas, he has to realize is that you can get attacks from the wide, from the center, from the diagonal, from runs. Bayern Munich, they attack it from everywhere. They play it short, they play it long, they play everything. Alaba can come up in here and everything. It is crazy. It's wild. That's why this game is so exciting. There are so many different permutations, storylines, zigzags, diagonal zones, and so forth to really discuss in this, and so much of this stuff to sort of break down. It's crazy. Let's just say so. It's a big call there. It's a big call. Verratti or Paredes. It's a big call. But beyond that, I just think for Herrera and Marquinhos, they're going to have, and that's why I think Herrera is going to be very important. He's going to be very important because Herrera winning the ball and stopping Bayern Munich because what Bayern Munich wants is to quickly put as much pressure on that defense as possible. So Herrera's protection of this defense, his interceptions, and him getting those key tactical fouls is going to be very important because again, he's going to pick his moments to get the yellow. You only get one chance at the yellow, so he's going to know when to, because he has to get a yellow. there has to be a point in which he's going to get a tactical yellow. So how he navigates that is down to him, but he's going to be very important in stopping the supply chain for Bayern Munich. But I think Neymar, we all know Neymar is going to be important in this. And I'm very interested to know how influential Neymar is in this game. Because let's go deep. Let's go a little bit deeper. So if we rolled with Icardi, let's say we rolled. See, oh my God, it's crazy. Okay, what about this? Now this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm not saying that you should do this, but if, for example, that's not you can't do that. See now, you. Because I was about to say that if you did this. If you did this, you can't. That's too light in midfield. Because if you did this, it's far too light in midfield. Having only Marquinhos and Herrera in there, even if you had Marquinhos and Verratti in there, that's too light in midfield, and Neymar just will not be able to do enough of the legwork. An alternative is, so you put back the numbers in there in midfield. Maybe you outnumber the two that Bayern will have in there because Muller is attacking. I mean, see, it's because you don't want this. That's the thing. It's like Neymar has to be here. He has to be here. Now you can argue that, okay, well, he's over there really, but really the guy putting up the channel is Bernat, and he may start here, but you're giving him the freedom to maneuver. You're giving him the freedom to maneuver. But the thing about it is, in a final, every channel must be walked. So there must be focus. There must be the flanks must both be given proper attention. The center must be given attention. Because if you put Neymar there, he will always be drifting in. And how much of that left do you have in there? So, because the thing about Icardi is a presence. It's not about is he good or quality. It's a presence, because what that does is that it just occupies these defenders and it allows Neymar and Mbappe a lot more freedom to maneuver. Let's say a lot more freedom to now attack and now do damage. Because you know that Neymar is from the left to the center, he can do a lot more damage. But my worry is that if you do this, how much will Neymar walk that flank? Because for most of the games, he's been played through the center as a number 10 and pretty much been given a free role. So someone that has a free role like a Messi, you don't put them out wide. You put them in the center and they just interpret the game however they like. So this may be how we have to roll. Having Di Maria in there and a false nine. And what this is, it's fluidity. But do you know why this works? I'll tell you why this works. Because of how Bayern Munich plays. See, if Bayern Munich were a defensive team, or they were like a pragmatic team, if they were like a pragmatic team, then you would need a striker. Because when you're going a pragmatic team who are very defensive, you can't pass to the middle. You need to have crosses. You need to bring in crosses. You need to bring in deliveries into the box. But if it's a high line, then the through ball is on. The ball over the top is on. So what's the key thing here is Neymar is the key. Where if Neymar can get the ball and gets free. So let's say Neymar has the ball and let's say Boateng is pressing him or Goretzka is pressing him and he can turn and dispose of Goretzka, you may now have like a 3-on-3. And if Neymar can time the pass well, time the pass well and give it to Mbappe, give it to Di Maria, then it's all candy. It is all candy all day, every day. Let's go back to Bayern Munich now. So for Bayern, you see, the worry here is Perisic. Because I feel that the weak link for PSG is that side that Kara has. And my thing about it is how well can Perisic walk it? Because we know that Gnabry will walk it. See, you're almost tempted to say, I feel like we say, you know what? During the game, you better say, you know what? Switch. Gnabry, walk that. Because we know Gnabry, left foot, right foot, he can say, what's up? You and Davis walk that, and but space Gnabry, walk on Kera. Let's see how good he is. Break him down. Because what Bayern Munich wants is to make Kera walk, make him think. bring him out of position. But again, I told you Lewandowski is key because you see what Bayern have that PSG don't have. Bayern have a clinical striker. And for clinical strikers, they just need a sniff. They just need a chance. So I think, especially for Thiago as well, what they will be hoping, because again, for Goretzka is the guy who's going to join up in it. So when Bayern are attacking, they're going to look like this. It's going to be insane. It's going to be crazy. You can have Goretzka, Muller up in there, Gnabry, Perisic. It's going to be a flipping part. It's going to be like an Oktoberfest. But what Flick wants from Thiago is, I need that inventive passing. Because what we are playing an attacking team and a team that are very expressive. There will be space. Not all the time, but when there is space or when we have the momentum, Thiago, you need to make that key. Because all it takes is a great pass can put you in a beautiful, great position. And I think for Lewandowski, what you really want for him is movement. You don't have to remain here all the time, but what you want is movement. Create the space. You must want, because what I always say for Lewandowski down the years is I wanted to see that Dortmund Lewandowski, where he comes in deep and this guy, he plays with the guys. So he gets the ball back to goal, plays it off, let's go. So he's playing with the midfield. He's really involved in that for football as well. But for me, you see, what will be interesting is, depending on what is when Coman comes in. Because Coman brings in something very, very different to this game. And he can bring in a whole different dimension. Because I feel, you see, for me, Coman, I know, it depends which Coman we get. Something can be very frustrating Coman, who's very frustrating and waste passes. We could get the really good Kingsley Coman. Because I think Coman, what he does well is he really walks the fullback. I think he walks the fullback a lot better than Perisic. See, Perisic is a better finisher, better striker, and is much more clinical in those positions. So there is more of a goal threat from Perisic than there is Coman. But for Coman, he will walk that fullback. So, and I think Lewandowski prefers a Coman than he does a Perisic, because Coman will always walk the wing and try and look for the cross. He was always looking for the cross. Rather than shooting, he's always looking for the cross. So depending on the dimensions on the game, we will be seeing Coman in this game. And what Flick will say is, Coman, walk that dude. And if one can create space, unleash Davis. Get Kera out of it. If he can dribble him, take him out of position, make that cross. But if he can coax him out of position, unleash Davis, because what they want is for Davis to be in there. And even for Joshua Kimmich as well. Coming into that midfield, get those balls over the top. So it's fascinating. There's so many different permutations here. There's so many different things here that can happen. And it's a different blend of, basically, it's both teams are very positive teams and very attacking teams, but the way they attack is very different. You know, you have the striker leader of Bayern Munich and the very intense high press. You have the silky passing, one-touch passing of PSG, which is engineered by their number 10 Neymar, who might be playing a false line. So the way in which they're going to ride is going to be very, very interesting. But just say, you know what, Gnabry is going to be key. And I think what we may see is Gnabry switching the wings, and I think Gnabry could say something. I think Gnabry, Muller, if they can get themselves in key specific positions, because these guys execute. They truly execute. And they get themselves in key positions that they're going to be very important, you know. And I just think, just to end on PSG, man, let's not sleep on Di Maria. So Di Maria now knows that, okay, I'm going up against... so he'll be Davis. So he knows that I'm going up against a very, very top dude in there. But we all know what Di Maria does, and Davis must be wary. Di Maria will know that I am cutting in and I'm looking for that pass across. Or I'm cutting in, looking for the ball in there, trying to take that shot. So Di Maria isn't looking for the byline. That's not his game. He's not looking for the byline. He's looking to cut in, and creates a situation around the D in there for an Mbappe or for a Neymar. So their relationship is going to be very, very key. But for Silva and Kimpembe, they will know that they're going to be in for something. And their communication and understanding is going to be vital, because you're coming up against not only Lewandowski. What Silva and Kimpembe have to be wary of is, where is Muller going to pop off? We saw that goal that Muller scored in the 8-2.
his amazing movements where he got ahead of PK, who was flipping asleep. If you snooze, you lose. That's what they have to know. That if you snooze, you lose, man. But yeah, man, very, very exciting how all this thing tactically plays out, and it's just so much to say, so much to say. But yeah, man, so many different things, so many different players, so many different. And but my thing about it, just to end it, Neymar may not be the key. Neither could Mbappe. It could be Marquinhos again, or it could be Silva, or it could be Bernat. We see someone who we don't know say what's up. Very similar to Bayern Munich. For Bayern Munich, all the focus is on Lewandowski, Gnabry, Muller. Goretzka could do something, because we know that for Goretzka, he's been looking for a goal, because we know that he bursts in from midfield and he's always ready to take a shot, and he's always making those runs into the box, ready to finish stuff outside the D here as well. Who knows what Thiago could do? We already know that Joshua Kimmich knows how to score a G, so there are other Davis as well. Davis is going to be very attacking, and Davis, he has to be wary. As attacking you are, you must be aware that if you get caught off of position, Di Maria can cause serious damage. Di Maria, given enough space, can be extremely deadly and very, very dangerous. But Davis could even say what's up. So there's so many different things that these dudes can do, man. But it is fascinating. The tactical battle is fascinating of their approaches, what they will do, their defensive setups, how people will expose their defensive setups, and yeah, man, it's gonna be very interesting to view, man, for sure. No one thought you guys would be here. Let's keep it real. Ever since the miracle at Camp Nou, and since the events of the miracle at Camp Nou, people thought you were losers. But no. You're done. We don't want you here. Okay? Is your name Bayern? Is your name Juventus? Is your name Liverpool? Is your name flipping Real Madrid or Barcelona? If it says no, especially you, PSG. So no one thought you guys would even be here. But you're here. You're here. You are right here, right now. And people can say it was an easy run. Who's Atalanta? Dortmund, Leipzig. It is what it is, you're here. And everyone has said, everyone who comes from the side of the draw that Bayern Munich have come from will win it. That's what everyone said once we saw that tree. It is what it is. So everything is going up against you, and you're going up against the flipping juggernauts. Guys, in case you don't know, the team you're going up against are goal merchants. They live off goals. They excrete, they ingest goals. They love G's. They absolutely love G's. So it's a challenge. And guys, you know me, I love challenges. I love degrees of difficulty. That is what makes goats. That's what makes greats. What truly gets people in my eyes as potential horsemen, as chief ogas, is, do you succeed at high degrees of difficulty? Guys, this is tough. It ain't going to be easy. But you have to understand what this is. This is it. You're here. You've made it. It's the final. You're potentially 90 minutes away or 20 or penalties away from being legends. PSG have never won the Champions League. Never before. They built this thinking that of wanting them to win the CL. And from all their failures, everyone said it's never going to happen. It'll never happen. They'll never sniff a final. They'll never sniff a final. But you're here. You're here. And I'll be real with you. You are going up against a juggernaut. You're going up against a flipping behemoth. Marco. This ain't Ligon. This ain't Evian FC. This ain't Croissant United.
You're going up against the elite of the elite who are coming to shred you to pieces. To shred it to pieces. You saw what they did to Barcelona. Okay? They have pretty much almost crippled an entire club. So you're going up against people who are mess with. And I'll be real with you guys. I'll be real because we need to be real right now. They don't give a damn if this is a final. If they will steamroll, they will steamroll you in a final. So they're not going to be like, okay, it's a final. We'll be cautious. We'll be cool. We'll do our thing. No. They're like, okay, it's PSG. What are they going against? They are coming for you. I asked. Trust me, I asked them. I said, please, did you bring any lubricants? They said, no, we don't have any. We've run out. I said, no, easy. Please. They said, no, we've run out. There's no lubricants in this dojo. Damn it. Damn it. Because they didn't use any lube against Barcelona. But it's a final. And you see, in a quarter or a semi, like, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that. But in this, is like, this is it. All you need to do is just win one game. It's okay, we don't need to win this. No, just win one game. Because see, in that second, like, you thought it was already won because you were ahead. You thought it was already won. See, now this is not, it's from scratch. It's from scratch. You win this, you're legends. Statues. They will rename the Eiffel Tower the PSG 2020 team Eiffel Tower. Tulifeli, Neymar, Mbappe, Maria Marquinhos, Silva, whoever your names are. Neymar, this is your team. You said you want these moments. You said that you live off these moments. You said these moments are what make you. Well, if these moments are what make you, bruh, if ever there is a final to show up, this is it. You could take the throne. If you say what's up in this game and you are critical to them winning this game, the throne is yours. The throne is yours. We're seeing Messi struggling with stuff right now. Cristiano, he's getting older right now. If you win this for these dudes, so your move was vindicated and you alone essentially led them through, you want the number one. You'll be Christian Chief of God. You'll be called Neymar Olusegun Jr. Your official name will be Chief Neymar Olusegun Jr. Prodigy, man. Easy. Huge. It doesn't make any sense what you've done at this early age. Okay? We saw what you did in that World Cup final, and now you find yourself in a Champions League final, and you're not even yet 22 years of age. It is frightening what you're doing. It is scary. I'm scared. And Mbappe, I'll be fully transparent with you. I think it's too early. I don't think this is your time. I don't think it is time for you to say what's up yet. I think you still need a few more years, but my Lord in heaven, you're not listening to me. Because I can see in your eyes that you want it. You want it. You want that light. Teco Silva, man, you're the captain. You're the leader. You're that dude. You're the... Guys, it's huge. It's huge. I can't put into words, okay? I've searched the Oxford Dictionary back to front to back. I've torn it open. There isn't a word in the dictionary to describe how massive this game is. This is one of the biggest football games in the history of the sport. It's one of the biggest games in the history of the sport. It's massive. I couldn't give a damn about no fans in there. I couldn't give a crap. It means zilch to me. I watched the damn thing on Flipping News, okay? So, it's massive. It's huge. It's cool. But you guys need to believe in what you're about. You need to believe in your skills, in your abilities, and you should believe in your will to win. And what is interesting is this. How many games do you go in where you're the underdogs? You are genuine underdogs in this game. And that is with Neymar full strength, you're genuine underdogs in this game. So what does that say? Howly fair. There are narratives out there. I don't want to. Which this is, but you know what the narratives are, guys. You only use social media. You don't know what the narratives are. But once the referee blows that whistle, it is what it is. You have to leave everything on that pitch. Everything on that pitch. Because this is it. Billions of people will be watching this game. This might break viewing records right now. Because I feel something seismic in this. The world the planets will be watching this game. I'm talking trillions. They're not even trillions of people in this planet, but I'm telling trillions. Martians will say what's up. Jupiterians will say what's up. Venetians will say what's up. Neptunians will say what's up. Uranusanians will say what's up. Saturnians will say what's up. Kryptonians are going to say yo. Moonians will say yeah. What baby? Everyone. We're talking solar systems will be tuning into this beta bad boy. What are you going to do and how are you going to react to that? Favorites. You heard what I said? Favorites. You're the best team this year. Hands down. I apologize. I'm sorry. I doubted you. And based on my doubts, you punctured my beloved Chelsea. It is what it is. No harm, no foul. It wasn't personal, it was business. It is what it is. What you did to Barcelona was frightening. I have rarely seen something like that before, and it's been compared to what happened to Brazil 7-1. But my argument is what you did to Barcelona might have been worse. You are coming into this game as heavy favorites based on just how well you've played, based on your performances and so forth. But let me say something very clear right now. It's about winning. The favorites don't always win. Portugal were the heavy favorites against Greece in 2004. We saw how that ended up. You guys, all of you guys who were in here in 2012, you were the heavy favorites against Chelsea. We saw how that ended up. The favorites don't always win. And it's not about being favorites, it's about you lifting up that trophy. Because let me tell you right now, I know, but let me just put it into words. It would be a horrendous disappointment based on the record-breaking season you've had if it doesn't end with a CL. Because if you win this treble, people will talk about you guys as one of the great club teams for a season based on just what you've done. Based on what you've done and how specific players have played, they will talk you guys as one of the great teams we've ever seen for a club season. But it's a final. And you have to respect that. You've got to respect that we are playing a team that wants to win it just as much as us. So what is the key thing? We respect how much PSG want to win it. We want to win it more. We want it more because we're Bayern Munich. We want it more because we deserve to be here. I need some disrespect. Not underestimating. Disrespect, which means that when the referee blows that whistle, PSG cool, we're here to deliver you. We know it's a final. We are here to completely and totally crush you. Evoke 1970. So, whoa. What the hell? Why are you going to 1970? Easy. 1970. What was this about? It's about 2020. Relax. Chill. 1970. That Italian team was one of the toughest defensive teams out there. That was a tough defensive team in 1970 World Cup final. Pele, Rivellino, Carlotta Alberto, they didn't care. They gave them that 4-1 walk in a World Cup final. One of the most one-sided finals that we've ever seen in the history of the sport. So, Gnabry, man, I mean, this is huge. This could truly make you. Because, Serge, you've done great things, amazing things, but this is what takes you from Germany to the world. You show up on this platform, a CL final, you help them in the CL, we now look at you as world class. We now make an act. I will go to the office myself. I will go there and I'll say, I will drive to the office myself. I will fly. I will use osmosis. I'll use my spaceship to go to the office and be like, I'm making an argument for tier 1. Easy. This is what you understand, Gnabry. Serge. This is not a semi. This isn't a DFB Pokal Cup final. This is a Champions League final one day. This is where if ever there is a game for you to do what we've seen you do for the last 3 years, baby, it's this one. It's this one. This is not the game to lay a break. Save yourself and everything. This is where you save the very best of search is for this game. Mola, I know you're a bad boy. Easy. I know you're a bad boy. I know you are determined. Because I remember you were the guy that scored that goal in 2012. Thinking that you won. But it is what it is. Drogba happened. But you want to say, you know what? I know we won in 2013, but I know how hungry you are. Here it is. Because this would be one of the great redemption stories for you. Because we all thought you were done. We all thought you were done. We all wrote you off. We said you were finished. There you said you were finished. Get rid of this dude. He's washed. That's what we said. That's what we said. But you can correct that right now. Lewandowski, man. I never thought I'd actually, I'll be real with you, I never thought I would see you here, in this position. I never thought I would see you in this position. I thought, you know what, I give up. Yeah, he's a domestic league measure, that's what he is. He's great, quality, ability was great, but can't put him next to Benzema. He's never done anything in the CL. You've had a crazy season. I don't think Benzema's ever had the kind of season that you've had this season. Lewandowski, man, if you show up in this final, I don't think you realize what it's going to do for your legacy. This is a legacy defining for you. This is a legacy defining for you. This one night could change your entire career and could change how every single person views you and sees you. It's as simple as that. This is the game. So forget all those Bundesliga games, all those CL group games, all those DFB Pokal games, all those semi. This is the game to say what's up. This is how you ride. It's how you live, you sniff. This is where you G up. This game. This game. You G up in this game. Guys, we're here. I mean, it's an hashtag Ogreal. You know the permutations. You know what will happen if you take home this trophy. As I already said to the PSG people before, this has the potential to be one of the biggest games in football history. I already believe that this game is one of the biggest finals in history. Huge. Massive. You need to understand how big this is. Based on the year that we've had, 2020, this could be a defining final for the ages. And my God in heaven, you don't want to be on the losing end of a final of this magnitude. How this story ends, my dear friends, is down to you. There is always a story. There's always a story. Ignore my bare feet. I have to do this bare feet because to end this we have to go natural and we have to go slightly psychotic and so forth. You know, storylines. There are always storylines, and you cannot ignore the storylines that are here. And what would happen? A narrative is a narrative, and a narrative is something that is very much dependent on the result. Because You can say anything you want with a narrative, but a narrative is based off of fact. So a narrative always begins based on fact. And you can say anything with a narrative, you can throw dessert on it, you can mix or match with it and everything, but it is rooted in what is. You can't create a narrative for PSG if they lose. You cannot create a narrative for Bayern if they lose. If PSG are to win this, we have to have a different discussion about Neymar. We have to look at why he left Barcelona, and we now have to start say that is one of the biggest, bravest, ballsiest decisions in football, where a man took it upon himself to leave a Messi-led Barcelona while he was still nearing his peak, move over to a different club, and to win the Champions with that club. That would be huge. That would be massive. And we would have to look at Neymar differently. I get it, he's not won the World Cup. I get it, he's not won the Copa America. I get those things. But we would have to, at the very least, take a step back and say, in terms of club football, this is huge. This is huge. As a mainstay superstar to inspire two different clubs to win, specifically what he does with PSG, it would be flipping huge. And we would have to give respect so much for Neymar. And I think Neymar would now be the king of football. He would be the king. There would be no arguments of putting Cristiano or Messi ahead of him. Forget about what they've done now. Forget what they've done in the past. It's about now. I deal with the present and the future. For the present and the future, you would have to say, Neymar, hats off to you. You're king. You're that dude. We ride with you. Boom. Cool. You're the one. For Mbappe, now people will say, well, it depends what Mbappe does. If Mbappe lays a brick in the funnel and so forth. And I do agree. If Mbappe lays a brick in the funnel, or he's not really that influential in the funnel, and PSG still win, it'll be like, can we really give what's up to him and everything? But the issue with that, though, is that at 20, because remember, he can still win more. But before 22, he can show you a World Cup medal and a Champions League medal. But I think the key thing for Mbappe is how he does it. The Mbappe narrative is a very scary narrative, and I want to stay really correct from the narrative, because that is the narrative that frightens me the most. I am terrified of that narrative, and I didn't even want to talk about it. That's why I don't want to say anything, but I have a job to do, so I will do my best to say as much as I can about this narrative. Then please excuse me, I don't want to go any more, much further. If Mbappe wins this Champions League and this CL, after all, he's already done what he's done in the World Cup, as the focal point and as the future of football, we'll need to really look at what certain players did at his age. That's what I'm saying. That's how far I'm going to go. We'll have to look at what did certain players do at 21. What did certain players achieve at 21, both at international level and at club level? And that is as far I'm going to go. Because if Mbappe wins this, if he even does something in the World Cup in this CL final, I am frightened. I will be cowed. I will be shivering in my little toes, in my little dark brown toes, as to what may happen towards them. For PSG, my God, my Lord, they have been clowned and disrespected and insulted for good reason, for a long time. Who are these clowns? What are they doing here? You don't belong here. If they win, they belong. And we have a new face. Because how long has it been since we had a first-time winner? I think the last time we had a first-time winner of the Champions League, I think, was back in 2004 with FC Porto. Ever since then, you've seen people win the Champions League who've already won the Champions League before. So, as a first-time winner, and especially first-time winner, 2020, start of a new decade, it would be a statement. And it could be a statement to say, oh, we have another a potential European superpower here. But the PSG narrative is particularly interesting because you can try and hate the ones with, oh my gosh, you had an easy run. It is what it is, because my gosh, if they beat, you can say, oh, Leipzig, oh, Atalanta, Dortmund, if they beat a Bayern, based on what Bayern have done, who have been the most superior team this season, there is nothing anyone can say to take the victory away from PSG. Because they beat Bayern and win the Champions League, shut the heck up. Shut up and give them their praise. Shut up, shut your stinking, hating mouth and give them their flipping praise. Flipping Lewandowski. This is what you've waited for. This is what Hazem has been praying for years. Because Lewandowski, you owe Hazem a lot, because Hazem has been riding for you without a Champions League final appearance for ages. So How Hazem does it is amazing. How he's been able to give an argument for you against Benzema and Cannibal Champions League winners shows you just how crazy Hazem is about you. So you owe him a lot. Okay, man, that guy writes for you. But here it is right now. If you do this, Hazem doesn't even need to say anything. I told you, if you do this, Hazem is banned from the post-match stream. He's banned indefinitely from the post-match streams. But this is what it is, Lewandowski. I mean, Lewandowski wins this. We have to restructure that conversation, and we will have to bring back the Lewandowski Cannibal debate. We'll have to bring back the Lewandowski Benzema debate. We have to readdress that because he now has a Champions League medal. Because that was the one thing they held against him. We know of his skill. We know of his ability. We know of his 5 goals in 9 minutes. We know of what he's done for a decade. We know what he did with four Gs. And people kept clowning him. Oh, 4 goals in a CL semi. That was in 2012. You're in a final now. You're in the final right now. Lewandowski, these are the games that define you. It's not how many you score. I know you can score many. You've scored over 50 Gs. It's not how many you score. It's when you score. Do you score those critical geniuses? Do you score those critical geniuses? Gnabry, man, people need to put some respect on this guy's name because you scored a lot of critical Gs, and and that goal you scored against Leon, that was a very important goal. That was a very important goal because that goal was similar to Samuel Eto'o's goal in the 2009 final when Man United were actually having the upper hand. Eto'o scored that goal, changed the whole context of the game. That's what you did. Leon had the upper hand, scored the goal, changed the whole context of the flipping game. If you now say what's up in this final, my gosh, and you win, we have to now have a serious surge discussion because I don't do names. Oh my gosh, he's not well known. He's not this and that. It's about Salah. It's about El Dio. It's about Cristiano. No. It's about Messi. No. I don't do names. I do action. What have you done? Not what is your name? How many Instagram followers do you have? What have you done? Surge, you show up in this thing. It's huge. Bayern, man. If you guys win this, we have to talk about runs. I talk about runs. I look at the MSN run. I look at the Heinkes 2013 run, and I look at, I think it was the 2017 Real Madrid run. Yeah, I think it was the 2017 or 2018 where Real Madrid pretty much had to go through everybody. I think it was 2018 where Madrid pretty much played Italy's best team, Germany's best team, and I think France's best team as well, and they beat them all. But in terms of what Bayern have done, how they've dismantled teams and throwing the 8-2 as well, we have to talk about this as one of the great Champions League wins and one of the great teams of the club season and one of the most comprehensive, one-sided, juggernautable CL wins. Forget about whether it was 1 leg or 2 legs or so forth. It is what it is. These guys have torn up things. And let's keep it real. The Bayern, they probably beat Barcelona at Camp Nou as well, based on how that game went. So, the narratives are beautiful. The narratives are beautiful, and I love narratives because that's how big this game is. So, guys, as we settle in right now, as we prepare, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and I hope that you've enjoyed this long, intense pre-match analysis journey that I've broken down. But now, there's nothing more for me to say. I've said everything. I've analyzed. I've thrown up strategies and so forth. The talk is over. The talk is finished. All that's left right now is for these guys to do what they need to do, and for one team or for a certain player to make the difference and to win. Because at the end of the day, it's all about winning. Hashtag no excuses. Hashtag og real. Hashtag og reality. The CL is here. Let's ride.